Ladies and gentlemen, and now here's your host, Ray Ibarra.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Conversations with Shark Tank Winners, the online reality program. I'm your host, Ray Ibarra. We're at the Pax Stereo TV studios live, and I'd like to introduce our wonderful co-host, executive producer of the program, the man with the plan, Mario Hemsley. What's going on, man?
What's happening, buddy? Welcome.
And back there, our producer, cameraman extraordinaire, the one and only Victor Allen, the man with a golden voice. What's up, man?
I need a veggie moment, and I can't wait because I'm ready to bow down and just give all my humbleness to the queen.
We'll do that in just a minute. Wow, that's a great introduction, man. Wonderful job. We have a special co-host this week, ladies and gentlemen. She did a fantastic job. She was in the studio a few weeks ago. We asked her back because she's just really great at what she does, and I want to welcome back.
Oh, good. Hey, Ray. Great to be here. Shelly Either.
Shelly, thank you, Shelly. We wanted to know who you are. You're co-host now. Okay.
Thanks. It's great to be back. Nice to be here in the studio with you and Mario and Victor and Theresa.
Well, it's great to have you back. This is a lot of fun. Thank you for taking time to be with us again. And before I introduce our wonderful guest, she was on Shark Tank last night. I'd just like to make a special announcement. You know, we're heading toward the end of the year here, the last quarter of the year. I can't believe it already. 2014 is going by like crazy. It's never too early to begin planning for next year, especially if you have a business, you're an entrepreneur. I'd like to show you my website, sharktankeffect.com. You can go there and order yourself a copy of my multimedia book, Conversations with Shark Tank Winners. Now, this is full of wonderful interviews with 14 entrepreneurs from the hit ABC television show Shark Tank. It has written, audio, video interviews, and more. And for $6.99, you can download the app on any electronic device, carry it around with you, and learn, and apply all of the lessons, experience, and more immediately to your own situation. So go to sharktankeffect.com and pick yourself up a copy and make it happen for 2015. And now, I'd like to introduce our very special guest. You saw her on Shark Tank last night. She has an incredible story. And what do you do when you lose thousands and thousands of dollars of inventory when you're trying to build a business? You're trying to juggle your professional life with family. And what do you do with those situations? You're about to find out with our very special guest, the Veggie Mama, Theresa Fraijo. Theresa, welcome to the program.
Thank you, Ray.
All right, little applause over here. All right. Okay, you were on Shark Tank last night. Incredible story. Tell our viewing audience a little bit about yourself. We'll get into what happened on the show and your business.
Tell them about myself first.
Yeah.
Well, I am Veggie Mama, a Veggie Mama, I guess. And my husband and I started this business about 2 years ago. We have 2 boys. We live in Southern California with our 2 sons, Vance, who is 9, and Maximilian, who is 3. Mm-hmm. We enjoy having healthy lifestyles, being active. We love business. This is my husband. He's always been interested in entrepreneurship and stuff. So this is something that we enjoy doing together. And yeah, I'm excited to be here.
And you're making it happen, and we're very excited to have you on the program. You were on Shark Tank last night. Incredible episode. A very interesting outcome with everything. How did you develop this product, and why did you develop it?
Yeah, so Veggie Mama came, basically me and my husband wanted more snacks for our kids that were healthy, and going to the store you don't see them. Well, going back 10 years when I first married my husband, he doesn't eat vegetables. He said I'd rather drink them than eat them. I love veggies. I love them grilled, anything. So I would have to make smoothies, green drinks, and you know, put fruits and veggies, blend them up, and serve them to him, you know, in a nice, pretty, frothy mug, and he would drink his vegetables. And I would hide everything in there. Slowly, we reduced the fruit, increased the veggies. Well, once we had our kids, if you've ever made a green smoothie or, you know, vegetable blended drink, it could come out dark green, brown, depending on what berries and veggies you put in there. So, you know, the kids aren't too into that, right? You got to get a little bit more sneaky. Mm-hmm. So then I would do fruit and vegetable combinations that had these all natural colors and tasted good and that were really unique. So we have flavors like carrot berry. So you got your strawberry, your carrots, beets, lemon, and that's my red color. And then your orange color, sweet potato pie, sweet potato, orange, coconut cream, cinnamon, vanilla. Done. You're getting unique things like coconut cream, which is good fats for kids, hidden benefits with cinnamon, and other health benefits, not just the fruits and veggies. So then I would freeze them for my kids because I didn't want to have all these fruits and veggies every day that I'm having to blend. I wanted something quick and easy, so I would put them in pops. And
that's the one drawback with vegetables. I mean, I love vegetables when they're ready, and when I can just have them there, preparing them. Even steaming them, cutting them up, and that type of stuff is, nobody wants to do that. If you have something instantaneous like this that tastes good for the kids and for adults, because I admit I don't eat vegetables like I should. And jump in any time when you want to with a question.
Sure. I actually was wondering, do you have any sort of cooking background?
No.
I'm very impressed how you kind of threw in the coconut cream and the cinnamon, and that's impressive.
Yeah, well, I grew up with a mom who's always been into nutrition. She's a nutritional consultant. She's always, I'm one of 6 kids, and she was always doing alternative type things and grinding her own grains, and she was just very interested in health. So I was immersed from a very young age from just off the wall things, and try this and try that. And my husband, when we were dating, would come over and say he kind of has a sore throat, and she'd be like, here's some drops of garlic and whatever, and he's like, what? Or my mom was making her own kombucha like in the garage, and it smelled like fermented blood, and I'm like, oh, no big deal. But for my husband coming in like, what is going on? This is weird stuff. So for me, I always kind of saw that, and I just enjoy that and educating on things, healthy eating. So definitely not by trait a cook by any means, just I want to feed my family healthy and raise healthy kids. So as personal use basically is how I educate myself.
So how do you mix and get the formulations? How do you make the combinations? That's what I want to find out.
Yeah, so basically it kind of, Veggie Mama started out as almost, not a joke, but my husband and I, I had teachers and parents in my son's kindergarten class asking me, how do you get him to eat so healthy? You're feeding him like peppers in a kindergarten's lunch, like he's eating raw peppers. And I would say I just make, since he was a young kid, I'd make him smoothies, and that kind of introduced his palate to different veggies and things. And my 9-year-old ate very well easily. When I had my 3-year-old, not so much. It was more of a challenge. So I came up with these flavors in my kitchen. Really, we had the idea that we wanted to bring this product to market, my husband and I, because there was a need for it, and moms wanted something quick, easy, and convenient like this. So that's when we'd put the kids to bed, and we'd stay up in the kitchen getting just the perfect fruit veggie combinations in the blender and testing them out, and more of this and less of this, and just complete trial and error, coming up with flavors. And then it was like, okay, well, what will we call the business? And what could the logo look like? And we would literally we were creating this whole business at night in our free time. Mind you, my husband was in his first year of law school, which is the most rigorous year. And he was spending way more time now on Veggie Mama than school. And I'm like, we're paying too much for you to be like, what are you doing? And so we kind of rolled with it. So that first summer we said, okay, let's just see, test it out. So we first tested with moms. We had moms buying them like Boy Scouts and teachers, and I started selling them online, losing a lot of money because you can't ship frozen products, all natural, no preservatives, across the country to some mom that read about you on a blog review, because we would send them, it's like $50 to $80, and I didn't have volume then, it's like $50 to $80 to send overnight in a styrofoam thing, and they're spending nothing on it. But I wanted to make sure, hey, I'll lose a few $1,000s before I lose tens of thousands of dollars to see if there's a market there. And then once we saw there was a market with moms, and it wasn't just me and my friends that thought it was really cool and that their kids liked it, we decided to then go to the industry and go to a trade show and see, okay, what does the industry say about our product? What are the buyers and the store saying? So we went to a natural products expo in the East the summer of 2012, and set up a booth. And we were still making them in our kitchen, and ready to sell. And people were just, you had these big box store names like Target or Costco and Whole Foods, and we're like, yeah, great, here's our card, and here you go, we'll be in contact. And then you're going, okay, what are we gonna, we gotta do something with this now. So then we decided to go for it. We're like, okay, we're doing our research, we've kind of gone through the process, let's go for it. And that's when we decided to get a facility, our own facility, and rent a space, start with a small machinery, equipment that will give us this nice product that we could start selling. So we did it really lean, where we could put in the least amount of money as possible to get it, just start to selling, to seed. So we borrowed, used all of our savings.
30,000, right? Was it something that you put into that?
Probably more. Sold the diamond from my wedding ring.
Wow.
You need to do that so we just went all in. We moved in with my in-laws so that we could pay rent toward our facility rather than a mortgage and that. So we
it's impressive.
We just went all in, and we were both on the same page, which made it, easy. I think it would be hard if, you got one couple. Sometimes you have a husband and wife, they're not both on the same page, but we were 100% on the same page.
I heard that story in a slightly different fashion from our co-host here.
Yeah.
The sacrifices, you can relate to that, right?
Absolutely, and it's part of the journey, and so it makes you who you are. You learn so much through that, and through that sacrifice. I think that's where the great reward comes in, because when you look at it and you are successful with what you're doing, how does that make you feel when you look back to the sacrifices?
Yeah, it does. It makes it worth it in a sense, but I'm still so hungry to just keep going.
That's a key word, hungry. You gotta stay hungry when you get up in the morning, when you go to bed. You have to get you through those rough times, correct?
Yeah, and I think, for me that was hard starting out as an entrepreneur, because I'm more risk adverse. My husband is the risk taker, and he would do little businesses here and there. And once I kind of had this idea, and I showed a little inkling of hey, we should sell these pops, and moms would totally love this. And he was like, okay, let's go.
Let's do it.
Yeah, great. We got you on board. And I was like, wait a second, And he kind of flipped it oh, I'm helping you, and let's do this. And I was like, hey. So it was fun in that regard, because we were both had the same mission, and it makes the sacrifices not so bad,
Right.
I mean, I don't care that I sold the diamond. What's a diamond?
Right.
I live with my in-laws, and they were amazing. I mean, I couldn't do any of this without their help. I cried on the show, and I could still cry talking about it, because it means so much to me that they have all been supportive. And I think you need that to go, because you will have rough days, and but that's when me and my husband working together, you kind of hold each other a little tighter. You don't even have to say anything, and then on the good, awesome, amazing days, you're high-fiving and jiving. So
Yeah.
Mario, you look like you want to add something in here.
I must admit, it is often so inspiring, just the women that we have that are mothers. But then when you add into the whole thing of having a marriage where you're working on something together, I cringe for a minute. I really do. But then I really, really want to say you guys get kudos for that. Because when you can have a man and a woman in a marriage come together, just even to support themselves in a venture like this is a major undertaking. And I think that's just so wonderful. I'm inspired by that side too.
Yeah, ladies, how do you do that? I mean, you have your husbands, and then you have your beautiful children, your families. Balancing has to be one of the most difficult things for a mom entrepreneur on this journey.
Oh, totally.
Because I'm picturing you're coming up with a formula, and you're working very hard on this, and then all of a sudden one of your kids comes up and says, "Mom, I need this," or "Mom, I need that," or something happens. How do you keep things flowing? How do you just keep it going?
I'll let you know when I find the answer to that. You just do. You make it work. And there's always going to be that interruption, but those are your precious kids, and I wouldn't have it any other way. When you're there for those moments of, you know, they're smiling and they look at you and give you that hug, it makes everything worth it. And they know that they're loved, so your hard work is going to pay off. And if I have to put something aside and I can't finish what I'm doing right now, the kids are going to go to bed eventually, and then I have many productive hours that I can work into the night to finish what I have to do. Or, you know, there's always, it's not going to be perfect, and I used to strive for that, I think, when I was younger, you know, and everything had to be done now. And that's probably one of the biggest lessons I've learned in having my own business is everything does not have to be done right now. And, you know, everyone will tell you they want it right now, but you can only do what you can do in the moment, and, you know, get to it when you can get to it. And I do the best I can, but it's hard. Shelley will attest to that too.
It is, but I think the one thing that makes it a little bit easier, because there are pros and cons of working husband and wife team. Brian and I have been working together for years. We've had several businesses together, and have people ask us all the time, how do you work together? I don't know. But we just have found a way. You have to find a way. But the thing I love about working with him on our businesses, especially with our kids, is it's just this tag team. Because if he weren't there and he had an outside job or something, and I'm by myself and having to do the kids, that's a lot to juggle. But when he's there, I'd say, can you run them to practice? Can you run back? Pick up this, do that. You grab this. And we're a team.
Yes.
And so when you have that team, that's one of the real pros to having a husband-wife team working together. Someone that's there to put them to bed. You know, you might have a partner who can help you with this, but can they put them to bed and give them a bath and do the things that need to be done, give them medicine and be there with them when they're sick? You have that with your partner. So that's a real pro. Would you agree?
Oh, totally. Yeah. Because I used to say, you know, going into this, I could never work with my husband. I was like, no way, it's not happening. I am like this, you know, crazy, and he's so much more relaxed, and I was, you know, more uptight, and but I think we balance each other really well. Yes. Because he is the risk taker, the more creative. He will, and he's just so relaxed. So he brings me down, and I can bring him kind of like, okay, well, here are the numbers, here's this, and let's, you know, look at the practical. So we both think each other are crazy sometimes, but we just accept that, and we know that it works well together. I don't know how, because I was in the same boat. There's no way I'll ever work with him.
So what then is like the number one item to making a husband and wife entrepreneurial team work for our viewers or the entrepreneurs out there that are married that are wanting to start a business together? What is the number one important item that you want to share that say, hey, okay, this is what I want to share with you?
Oh, that's a tough question, because there's just so many aspects. At the end of the day, you know, he's my husband and I love him, so you kind of sometimes have to just put business aside, and there's a time to talk business, I think, and there's a time to, I know, have that family time, and it gets a little intermingled sometimes, but we're able to do it. I don't know if I'd have a piece of advice, because I don't think everybody can work together. I have friends that would, you know, say, oh my gosh, I'd kill my husband if I had to work with him. And I guess each individual person would have to do it for themselves to really know, because I used to think I couldn't, but we can. And if you ask my husband, he might have a different answer. But I love you, honey. And yeah, right. I think we're doing okay. I do.
So it's then to figure out if you're going to work together, or you figure out if it's going to be right. That's where basically you would start then. Or if you know you have an inclination to know that maybe I shouldn't, because you know, that's up to you as an individual then to figure out before you maybe even start.
I would say so. We kind of just came in it together with we were both on the same page. So he had other things, you know, other businesses that he had done in the past, and I was never, I would say, 100% supportive of him. I would support him and okay, you know, but I was, you know, in the back of my mind, I would kind of roll my eyes and like, okay, we'll see how long this one lasts, or we'll, you know, but when we're both, and my husband's brilliant, and I always would I know that he's going to be successful at something, and you have to keep trying. So he has taught me so many lessons with that. He just goes for it, and he's so smart. So I've learned a lot from him. And I think knowing your weaknesses, working together, and knowing that you're not always right, it has helped, because I had to turn and look at myself, and you can teach each other a lot. So it might not be easy, but I think I get so much from him, and I hope that, you know, it's reciprocal.
That's it. That's why they work. See, that's exactly it, because she can look at herself and know, I'm not always right. And she can open herself to learn from him.
Yeah.
And a lot of people can't. They have a hard time learning, especially from their spouse.
Yeah.
That's it's
Why is that?
Ego,
too much-
probably. I don't know.
Too familiar? Maybe,
Maybe,
familiarity
maybe,
or
maybe.
I think so. I do. It's too close. You think, you know, it's your spouse. It's like, what do you know? You know, when you hear something from someone else, it just somehow has more merit, and it's like, well, I told you that 3 months ago.
Right.
What the heck? We have to, you know.
Therein lies so much of the challenges, because the historical perspectives are that the men traditionally are not supportive of their wives, and then also when you have the additional challenges today that women are often made to feel guilty or feel like they have to choose between motherhood and their careers. So unfair, because men are never asked to make that choice. You know that. A successful man is never told, are you choosing between your career or your children? But every woman gets asked that, and it seems so unfair. So again, I must admit, in hearing, I have to give your men a little bit of applause too, I guess. Yeah, because for being progressive enough to understand and play that role, which a lot of men from my generation just would not do.
Yeah.
Right. I see that too.
I still do all the laundry and the dishes. But yes, no.
Okay, your product here, Garden Pops, and your other wonderful products that you have and you're developing. What motivated you when you had you hit a wall, let's say, because we all hit a wall from time to time, and our creativity or business or deal falls through, it doesn't happen. What motivates you to keep moving forward during those really dark times? Maybe things aren't hitting on all cylinders with the kids, or maybe you know, you had a misunderstanding between you and your husband. So what keeps you going through those times?
I just never question. I know that this is going to be successful, and I know what my end goal is. So I really don't. Yeah, you're going to have rough times, but my end goal, I'm still working for the same thing. So it's just that end goal in sight. I see it, and it's not really, I don't have an end, but I believe in this product so much, and the Veggie Mama brand, and I enjoy what I do, and I love it, and I have more ideas and other products. So you're always gonna have, setbacks, and you're always gonna have failures. But if you can just learn to ride the speed bumps on the way, I really don't let them affect me as much as I used to. I really don't, because I'm still trying to get to that point. So these are just kind of detours, really, and I really don't have as many rough days. I mean, yes, there are some crazy days, but I know I'll get through them because of past experience. You always get through it. Nothing's gonna, what's the worst that can happen?
Right.
You lose your money, you lose your, this, what's the worst that can happen to me? I'm healthy, so in that regard, I don't have fear, and I just keep going.
Shelley's nodding her head over there.
Yeah. Well, it's the truth. As long as, and I think the same thing in my life. If I have my husband, I have my kids, whatever. If I lose my money, whatever. I've done it before, lost it before, made it, lost it. Okay, bring on something next. What else? This is, okay, fine. I failed at that before too. I still lived. I'm still living.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to keep going. And I think, maybe for you, I'm curious, do you feel that being on Shark Tank helped you? I feel like having gone through what we did, and having stepped into that Shark Tank, faced that incredible fear, once I left, there's a part of me that felt like, I don't know if I'll ever really be afraid of anything anymore. I mean, I'm afraid of it, but you know what I mean? I don't feel that I'm as afraid of many things anymore as a result of doing the show.
Yeah.
Did that affect you that way?
I think my husband was a little bit more scared to go on than me.
Uh-huh.
I don't know. I felt like I was very prepared, and it does. It's like, hey, I conquered that, and I wasn't afraid of it because I was so in the zone when I was in there pitching to them. You don't even know that there's cameras there.
Right.
You're just there to talk about your product, and that's your mission there. You're not there for anything else. So I was able to tune everything else out. My husband didn't even want to go on at first. He's like, no, you go on by yourself. You know, you have to do the practice the day before, and we're doing it, you know, they have these like fake producer names, and there's tons of people, and my husband just froze up, like out of a movie, you know, like that. And I'm like, oh, you know, we're screwed. Like they're gonna send us packing right now, and oh gosh, and it's like, okay, your next line, and they just told him, Robert, you know, you're gonna take a deep breath. I think you're gonna be fine. We'll see you tomorrow. And I was like, okay, where's good? And he did awesome.
He did.
He did fine. You would never know.
You look both really great on camera. You look,
thank
he
you.
looked really relaxed, and you just went right in, as you said, right into your presentation without a second thought. It was really smooth. It was really great.
Yeah.
So talk to us about that experience, and because you know we as we talked before. That it's an edited, you get an edited version down from half an hour, you're out there, to 45 minutes to an hour, whatever, and it's down to 7-8 minutes that they edited. There's a lot there, but one of the things is that one of the wonderful things that happened with you and your husband was that they were all bidding for you, they were fighting over you, that gave you leverage. Talk to us about that experience.
Yeah, it was exciting. It was fun. We went in and we had talked about every scenario before we went in. We had really done our homework. We knew each of the sharks, you know, I think fairly well, and kind of knew historically types of deals that they would offer and different tendencies and things like that. So we went in and we had wanted Mark and Barbara from the second we went in there for, you know, different reasons. We thought that we wanted both of them, and that was it. That was what we went in for. So when they were both the first ones out, you're like, wait a second. Okay, and you're still, you know, you're still on a show, you know, you're still being filmed, and you have to kind of then switch it in your head real quick, and you don't even have a chance to discuss, you know, you're just on the fly. And so that kind of threw us for a loop. That was a little bit, I think, like, oh my gosh, what now?
Nerve-wracking. You would say,
that was plan A.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you're scrambling for what's plan B.
Yeah. So then you're getting, you know, Mr. Wonderful's typical royalty deal. We knew we would never do the other deals because we were never going to give, you know, any type of a royalty or, you know, part of every sale, nothing like that. Because in a food business, it's just, you would not go anywhere. You know, food is volume sales, and it's not this luxury. You're hoping, you know, you're going to get repeat business, so your margins are much smaller. So if you're giving a portion of that away every sale, it's not a good thing. So we knew we would never entertain the other offers, but you still have to keep going. So yeah, so when they came back in at the very end, it was a no-brainer. So
it was like, quick, done deal, right?
There was no negotiation there. You just said, right away, immediately you took their deal. I was wondering how close you were to taking that deal with Lori and Robert.
Yeah.
70,000 for 15% originally, right?
Yes,
75,000 for 15. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, people say, oh, well, Robert's deal was really the best deal because they were going to give you an additional. Why? If I would have taken that right off the bat, and I really felt like you need to hear it all out because you just don't know what'll happen. You know, things can always change. And for whatever reason, we had our intentions, you know, not to go in that direction, and we had discussed our reasons ahead of time, and so it was a no-brainer when we got the deal from them.
So if Mark and Barbara didn't come back in, would you have walked out?
I think we would,
because they basically said, Robert and Lori said no.
Yeah,
we're not getting rid of. You asked them to get rid of the royalty? And they said no.
Yeah.
And so you guys thought that you would just have said, then sorry?
Yeah, we would have
Wow,
rocked
good
that.
for you.
Yeah, when we had discussed in the hall, our hallway discussion, you know, which we were kind of, it's like we could look at each other in the eyes and kind of know. It was like, okay, we're going to try to get him to do away with that. And if not, it was, we're out of here. You know, in so many words from that hallway, we kind of like, I think we both felt that same thing. And so that's why we were even talking, and then Mark interrupted, and that's why it was a no-brainer for us. It was like, okay, no royalty, you know, done.
There you go.
Shelley, what were your thoughts when you saw Barbara really sticking up for them and starting to intervene and coming back into that deal? What were your thoughts?
I thought that was great, and I just rewatched this morning, and I remember why this is one of my favorite episodes. It's a real dramatic episode. There was a lot going on, and it was neat because there was so much interaction with the sharks doing all this, and it was like Theresa and Robert were just sitting back kind of watching the fireworks. But to see that interaction and Barbara really going after Lori and Robert, I thought that was great. And I thought, good for you. When they came out and said they're trying to rob them, this is dishonest. And she kind of leaned to Mark and said, this is nuts. They can't take a royalty on this. It's just not fair. They're being greedy. And I thought, good for you, Barbara.
Yeah.
Good for you for calling them out for that and stepping in and Mark joining with her. I thought that was great. I thought it was really, really great. Of course, we don't always know how it turns out afterward, so that's why I was interested in talking to you about how that's all going with them now.
Yeah, and coincidentally, with Mark, he's kind of takes a back seat in the edit, but he was much more vocal in we were in there for a good hour. So he was constantly, you know, chiming in, but they kind of don't show that, maybe for the drama of his big swoop in at
exactly.
Yeah. So, but he was very supportive as well. He really was. So, so we did close the deal with Mark and Barbara, and things have been going well. We actually closed, and I know that a lot don't end up. We filmed in July, and we aired originally last October of 2013.
Okay.
So then the due diligence starts. So like any investment, I mean, you can't it's a handshake deal kind of when you're on the show, but it's only fair that both parties then get a chance to go do their homework, because some people may be, you know, fabricating some stuff. You just don't know. Stuff comes out in due diligence, you know, any business deal, you need to do your homework. Or someone might take off and go buy a brand new car with their money, you know, this is their real money. So we were going through the process, and it did take quite a long time, about 6 months. And part of that was my fault, because I had a lot of work to do where I'm still trying to run my business and produce, because I had my own facility. So I had to be manufacturing this. And so like the business paperwork side was like, but yeah, we closed and funded with them then in January of 2014.
So you aired before you funded?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, we weren't even closed until January. Aired October.
So what about negotiating then with a shark or an angel investor, somebody who's got a lot of power and a lot of money? What lessons did you learn about negotiating with somebody like that?
The good thing for the show Shark Tank is you're able to see, you know, season 5, I could see kind of how the structure kind of how it went, and from past pitches, kind of you got to see the behaviors of each of the sharks. So I think that was a benefit to us. So for us, I'm losing my train of thought here on your question.
What was it like negotiating?
Yeah. So for us, we knew,
actually negotiating.
Yes, yeah. So we kind of knew their patterns. So I think it was a benefit to us. So like the very end when I said yes to Mark, I knew he might change his mind, and I knew, you know, I wanted to act fast on that. I know Robert, he's a little bit more, not sensitive, but, you know, he doesn't like what I did wasn't a good thing, you know, kind of, I wasn't blowing him off, but it's like, I was also very careful not to speak too much when I was in there. That was kind of my role, because I can sometimes overspeak. And so I really made a conscious effort when I was in there to not say so much. So we were taking it all in, and we were looking there, but we were like processing every last thing that went on and just kind of standing our ground, because you have to think about, you also don't want to say or represent. I mean, Veggie Mama is going to go on whether the show was there or not. So I didn't want to, get out of line or say anything that wasn't representative of me. So I figured at the end of the day, Veggie Mama is going to go on no matter what. So I don't need to, interact in this public forum. So that's a little bit different than I think a real, it's not a real, it is a real negotiation, but I think it's very different. I mean, that stuff happens after.
So I guess where I'm leaning with this is Theresa, is if you were in a room with Donald Trump.
Yeah.
And Donald Trump said, "Hey, I like your garden pops and your product, and I'm thinking about investing." You could negotiate with him then.
Yeah, I could, but I know Donald's had a lot more experience in it than me.
Okay, but you could though, from being on the show and preparing.
And having to negotiate your actual deal with Barbara and Mark, that experience.
Yeah. I mean, I think, again, I don't think the show is the end-all, tell-all for Business 101. Mm-hmm. At the end of the day, it is an entertainment show, and so you have to keep that in mind. And me as, a business owner, I wasn't going on there for them to teach me everything. I was going on, I did want some of the money, and I did want some of their connections, and I know, and they've been an amazing help. Mark's team is very involved, but they're investors. They're not as much, I think. Well, it's a hard line because they are really helpful too. It's a hard relationship because there's so many different type of investors in business. Mm-hmm. There's partners that are very involved. There's people that just give the money and and don't want anything to do with it. So you have to know, if Donald Trump did, it would be a negotiation, and it'd have to be beneficial for both of you. And I could have a conversation, I think, with him just fine, because I know everything about my business and what I would need. And hopefully he could teach me some lessons, and you could come to something mutually beneficial.
Well, take a look at the website, everybody, because it is very special indeed. VeggieMama.com, vegetables for everyone. Take a look at the landing page where you have a picture of the garden pops themselves. Frozen veggie and fruit bars made with real veggies and fruit, all natural ingredients, dairy-free, and packed with essential nutrients. Take a look. There's the carrot berry, everybody. The citrus cucumber, which I find the most interesting, and sweet potato pie. And I also take a look there. How about this? The Shark Tank special, where you buy one jar and get the second jar for half off on the site. Take a look, you guys. A frozen veggie and fruit snack equals no more yucky. Veggie Mama wants everyone to enjoy their veggies. After all, the best tasting ingredients are the ones that grow right out of the ground. And that's why Veggie Mama's premium garden pops are. Again, all natural ingredients, no added flavors, non-GMO ingredients, free of anything artificial, sweetened only with organic agave nectar, free of dairy and animal products, gluten-free, and absolutely delicious.
Who was that guy on, was it Let's Make a Deal, Don Pardo over there? Okay, we have some of your products here, and this is an actual box with your products. So why don't you open that up and just kind of show and tell us what the product is, what's in it, how good it is for you, all that good stuff. Because I love jams, I love peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, I love them, but they have a lot of sugar in them.
Yes.
So this you'll talk about this afterward here, because this looks really good.
Oh, that's
Garden pops.
We'll pass them down to the man over there. Yeah.
Two frozen. I had them here on dry ice on this hot day. Try not to melt. So that's citrus cucumber, orange, lemon, lime, spinach, mint, sweet potato. I don't know if Shelly wants
this one?
Sure.
That one's carrot berry.
I'll try
I don't know what flavor. Sweet potato
Go
pie,
into the man back there.
berry.
It's warm in here, so
I'm going to grab whatever I can.
Cucumber.
So yours is...
Tastes like good. I thought it would taste like crap.
Yeah. So yeah.
This is really good.
Oh man!
I want to try a sweet potato too.
Oh yeah. That one's really unique.
Wow,
Hopefully they're not too hard, you guys. If you want to,
No such thing.
if they're too cold, you don't get the.
This is really good. Oh,
This is like refreshing.
yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And it makes a good drink too. Break it up and shake it up. I tried out that one. So that one's citrus cucumber. It's cucumber, orange, lemon,
I could throw a
lime.
little vodka on that. That'd be good.
Yeah, some spinach and mint.
Yeah.
Super refreshing, and the flavors are linger. You can tell there's no added flavoring at all.
Well, here's a little video of showing some of the preparation.
Yes, this is back in our glory days when we did not have a cucumber supplier. So we used fresh mint, we still do, and cucumbers, peeled, blended. This is our first facility.
Wow.
We just closed this down. We outgrew it. So it's a little bittersweet watching it, but yeah, so the old pops, they were in these package type Otter Pop, Go-Gurt type plastic packaging.
Great.
So that was kind of my thing at the beginning. And now we don't want cold hands. And I think this popsicle on a stick, it's like evolved, you know. My husband, like he says, we went from an iPhone 1 to an iPhone 6. So this is our new. You're constantly changing and evolving and trying to get better. We had customers asking, you know, for this stick. And so that's what we did. And once we went and found, we now have a great company local to us that makes them, and I'm still able to go in, put on my white coat, and be there for it.
Great.
Yet I didn't have to, you know, purchase new, bigger machinery, hire more staff. So for me, it's been a really great move, and I could be focused more on Veggie Mama and doing what I love best rather than the manufacturing side. So some companies that, you know, they keep it all in house. I think for most food businesses, I think it is nice to separate the two and focus, you know, on one area or the other. So
I like the sweet potato too.
Thank you.
And the cucumber. That's 2 down.
I got more in here.
I want to try a berry with.
I'll get it.
Well, is it going to Whole Foods then, or you're in Whole Foods, correct?
Yes, we're in two regions of Whole Foods. So how
Take a
Whole
look.
Foods works is
They're the regions right there where you can buy it.
yes.
That's
so
a
those are-
lot, man.
Yeah,
This is where you are?
yes.
Wow.
Yes, so we're nearing maybe 1,000 or maybe a little over 1,000 retailers nationwide. And then we have our new product, the Garden Jam. So our Garden Pop is the initial, and now this Garden Jam, it's sweetened with xylitol, so it's a no sugar added
xylitol,
jam. Great for those watching calories, for diabetics. You know, moms just you can give your kid a healthy PB&J now. You know, you get some good bread, some natural peanut butter without any added sugars, just peanuts, and and some xylitol with some fruits, veggies sweetened with xylitol. Hey, I'll give my kids PB&Js every day.
How does this compare in terms of price cost with the popular brands that have a lot of sugar in them?
So this is a little bit more expensive because agave is more expensive. You know,
this is nice.
Eating healthier sometimes will be, but hopefully you're preventing future illnesses is how I look at it. That could cost you a lot more down the line.
2/3 of adults obese now.
Hey, Vic.
Oh, and kids,
How does it
diabetes,
taste, man?
obesity, you know,
You
they're...
keep it covered.
Ready?
These are good, you guys. No, this is good, and you feel way less guilty
Yeah. So these are...
to know that it's healthy.
Yeah, these pops are 5 to 7 grams of sugar a pop, 25 to 45 calories. So moms can have them at night with their glass of wine and not feel guilty. You're not having dairy. You're not having all, you know, they're gluten-free, dairy-free, vegan. I give in my kids for breakfast. It's essentially like a smoothie on a stick. So I'm not having to do the smoothie every day. Literally, my 3-year-old wakes me up. Can I have Garden Pop? Sure.
Yeah.
Help yourself to that freezer. What flavor? Okay, have a different flavor this time, so that we're getting a variety in. And that and a piece of toast, you know, and we're out the door to school.
And your garden jam on the toast. My kids love this. Theresa gave me some of this too, and we loved it. We ate it. The whole family, we devoured it. It's delicious.
I used to pick apricots. We had apricots, peaches, cherries, plums, on our little like farm, and I used to go out and pick them,
awesome.
and it smells fresh just like that. My mom used to make all sorts of goodies with that. And talk to us about your formulations for this, and what do you have any new formulations coming up, and how do you process this? How do you make it? Give us a natural view of this.
Okay. Well, actually, the funny backstory on this. My mom, actually, she wanted it to be called like Veggie Mama Garden Jam, and I was like, we're gonna keep. But she had accidentally made a jam using some of my sister's baby food in cubes, which she thought was her frozen peaches, and she accidentally put in the sweet potato. So she said, I have your next idea for your next product. It came out great. So then we started, I'm telling her, okay, well, reduce this or try the cinnamon. And so that's how we came up with the sweet potato peach was the first kind of, I guess, by mistake that my mom had come across. And then we came the raspberry beet. So for these products right off the bat, I went looking for a manufacturer, because I knew that we didn't have the capabilities at that point, and I did not want to invest in more machinery at all for the jam. It's a very specialized. I figure, let me go to the expert that knows how to make jam.
Right.
I can make it in my kitchen just fine, but I want someone with, expertise on jam. So we went kind of researching the best, and we found a really amazing manufacturer for it. So it's the fruits, whole fruits, and I wanted
this is in Whole Foods as well.
Not yet. This is gonna be out hopefully in Sprouts, and I have another bigger chain on the east in 2015. It's coming.
Wow.
It's new.
Oh, great.
So and I wanted the fruit to be the first ingredient. Oftentimes in a lot of jams or jellies, it's like the first ingredient sugar or the second ingredient. So I wanted that, to be the first ingredient. So this one has chunky peaches in it. I mean, you could taste it. And then the raspberry beet, it's a little more, smooth and softer. So these are great in Greek yogurt. So you're not, the pre-made ones, they're still sugar. It's great. Greek yogurt's great, but the little add-in is laced with sugar. So this is a good, you can add it to that. Oatmeal. This one's amazing in oatmeal. On salmon,
That
I
sounds
do
good.
this
Oh,
one.
on salmon, wow,
good.
interesting.
Just smear it on top, put some roasted pecans on top. So it's really versatile. It's not just for PB&J.
They're all good. They're all good. I can testify. Everything so
And I asked
far.
Vic back there, and he's speechless.
Everything
man.
so far.
Yes, I am. I'm speechless because I was going to ask a question, but I'm going to leave it out now because we don't have enough time, because I go, the mindset of who she is comes from her athletic background. She's a go-getter.
She's a dog.
And I can't get into it. I got to leave it alone. You guys keep talking. Let me get out of the way.
I am. I'm a little competitive, I must say. So.
Well, how about the jingle?
Oh, the jingle? We had somebody come up with this. I don't know. We like it. Our kids sing it. It's pretty hysterical, right? So, it's so funny.
Do you know this person?
No.
She just submitted it. That's pretty funny.
It is so fun. Yeah.
All right, well, so what's in the future for you then? Yeah, you've got this line now. You got your manufacturer. You've been on Shark Tank. You got your deal. Boy, you're like really successable. That's like kind of pinch yourself here. Like, is this all happening? But like you said earlier, you don't think about you keep looking to the future, wanting to move forward. So, what's next? I mean, where do you go from here? What are you going to do?
So now I think I kind of feel like my second win, now that I don't have my facility and the manufacturing that I have to be so involved with. So now I can, sell more and focus on my accounts more and servicing, that aspect of it. Raising brand awareness and just being Veggie Mama and doing the sales and the things that I love and getting out there. And I did a demo yesterday because it was by my house and it's fun, and I like to talk to moms and grandmas and grandpas where they're buying them for their grandmas and grandpas because they don't prepare themselves anything healthy and they drive through McDonald's. So I want to create more products that are healthy for families, that incorporate fruits and veggies. So these are the two for now, and as our business grows and then we have the funds to introduce more, I mean, that's the future. So just to get our products out there in distribution is hard with a food product. So But
I just want to say, congratulations. You have done so well. You inspire me to keep going, and your drive is contagious. And not only am I proud of you and what you've accomplished, but I love your product and I love your mission. Because as a mom who wants to try and get more green things in my kids, who makes green smoothies almost every day, yep. I get it. I completely get it. I just came off a 21-day cleanse, or I didn't eat sugar. And I should have had some of this. This would have helped. But I love that. I love that you're helping, because it's what we need to do with our kids right now. There is so much junk out there that we're putting in our children. And the fact that you saw that and didn't just change it in your life. You said, I want to make this better for everyone, and put out a product that's this amazing. I think it's great. So congratulations. I'm really proud of you.
Thank you. Yeah, that's what it is. Childhood diabetes, obesity, these are all real problems. So if we can take some of the normal things that we eat every day and make them where, we can all enjoy them, why not just switch a few things slowly but surely? We can be a little bit healthier and more, cognitive of these things.
Okay, so we're winding down. So 2 or 3 items here that you can share with our audience for those wanting to start a business, or maybe they want to go on Shark Tank, or anything that you can pass on that you think would really help somebody the last quarter of this year and beyond. What would that be?
If you have a business idea, I think, and you've done your research and you believe in it, I say go for it. You have to be ready to work harder than you've ever worked, sacrifice, a lot. But if you believe in it and you are ready to go full steam ahead, you just have to do it. And excuses that, money, this, that, I didn't have money. I didn't, I really didn't to start something like this that I have now nationwide. So they're just excuses. If you really believe in something, you will find the answers to your problems, and you can get with the right people to help you overcome those. You just have to do it. Just go do it.
Just do it, like Nike says.
Just do it.
Shelley?
Well, I agree so completely with everything you had to say, and especially when it comes to the excuses. And when it comes to, because I heard from so many people the same thing, but I don't have any money, yeah. And I didn't get to be on Shark Tank, and I didn't get an investment. That neither did I. Yes, I got on the show, but I didn't get an investment. Listen, anything is possible. You have to just move forward. A way shows up in faith. When you believe that much in yourself, in what you're doing, when you believe that much, a way will always show up when you move forward in faith. And so when you just sit around with the excuses, nothing's going to happen. It's just, how bad do you want it?
Yeah.
How serious are you? Because like Mark says, he said they're entrepreneurs and they're wantrepreneurs, right? Yeah. And there really are a lot of wantrepreneurs, right? And so
that's a good point. Very
good
point.
Kudos to those who go for it.
Yeah. Mario?
Once again, I like to use the word role model. People who inspire us to follow their lead, even though so many of our role models will tell you they didn't even know. But, you fall into that. So, again, for all the mothers, and not just the mothers, the fathers, too, but the families that are doing business together to show that it can be done without going at each other and dealing with that stress, we want to commend you and say, again, today you are a role model for us.
Well, I want to thank you, Theresa, the Veggie Mama, for joining us and sharing these really refreshing products. It's a little warm in here, and this was really, really good. I can't wait to try that jam. And Shelley, thank you so much for being a wonderful co-host and sharing your experiences with us as well on Conversations with Shark Tank Winners. I want to thank you, Mario, again, our executive producer and co-host, and, of course, the man with the plan back there, Victor Allen.
That bag is mine.
That bag is yours.
That bag
okay.
Is mine. That's mine.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, this has been Conversations with Shark Tank Winners, the online reality television show. Go out and get yourself a copy of my book there, Conversations with Shark Tank Winners, a multimedia book. $6.99. Go and purchase a copy at Shark Tank Effect, or you can go to Amazon.com. Once again, Theresa, the Veggie Mama, I want to thank you and much continued success. This is Ray Ibarra from the PAX Stereo TV Studios. Just go out and do it, right?
That's right.
Thanks a lot, guys. Thank you for everything.
Thank you, Ray.